So Fulham 2, yes, 2. Haven't scored a goal for 3 games, but they scored 2 today. Happy New Year. Arsenal 1. Kenny Ken was there to witness it live, soaking wet. The heavens opened, and we folded. We were absolutely awful today. Make sure you follow Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. A tragic and sad ending to 2023, Kenny, with back-to-back losses. And we are now 4th in the table, mate. What did you make of that?
We're where we should be. It's been coming for a long while. We've been the only ones who've like shown that we're unhappy with the style of play, the change of play. We knew why the manager was doing it. We didn't agree with it. The fact is they should have gone through with it. You know, Villa perfected it and West Ham perfected it. As I said to her, I spoke to my mates, a Fulham fan. I said, all you got to do, play in a rectangle, stop Declan Rice, get men behind the ball, and win those second balls, and you'll win the game comfortably, and that's it. The thing is, it was comfortable for Fulham. It was comfortable for Fulham. In fact, they should be kicking themselves they didn't get a third. You know, because heads have got to roll now. Heads have got to roll because, you know, the manager's system isn't working. We're predictable. Teams are working us out. It's that they're beating us comfortably. You shouldn't be coming to Fulham where they win comfortably. You know, you would have thought that they were the team that were going for the league. I mean, the lack of effort from towards the end. You know, I know he's a young lad, but when you're getting marked out of the game, let your head go down, to show no desire. I'm talking about you, Bukayo Saka. Yep. It's unacceptable.
He gave up against
he gave up. You know, to the extent he was lucky to be on the field because right in front of us, he kicked Paulinho because Paulinho gave him a really strong, robust tackle and he couldn't take it. So, you know, he's lucky to be in the pitch. He should have been, in essence, sent off. And, you know, I think Gabriel was lucky to be on the pitch when he pulled back one of their strikers as well. But in essence, Declan Rice, teams were beginning to work him out. They're beginning to say, right, you sit on him, you cut out his passes, and you push him back and make Declan Rice defend on his goal line. He's ineffective. Trust me, all these people were saying that Declan Rice is an upgrade on Todd's party. Shut your mouth. Shut up. You know nothing about football. I feel vindicated now. I want to be wrong. I've been proved right about what the guy gives us, which is very, very little. He's basically playing like he's done when he's at West Ham. But I'm sorry, you play for Arsenal now. You've got to give us a bit more. It's no good saying, oh yeah, but he's not the Xhaka replacement. You know, we need Thomas Partey alongside him. We've got Havertz. No, you've got to have that killer pass. How many times did Fulham make interceptions on your passes?
Yep.
Don't get me started on Benjamin White. Don't get me started on Benjamin White for the first goal. You want to do? You all right, man? Yeah, I'm good, yeah. I could have killed. I'm fuming. Absolutely, I'm too angry for words. Yeah. Benjamin White, I could strangle him. I could strangle him for that first goal. How many times will you overlap for you to realise that you need to get tight to Anthony Robinson? That you should be watching the play. How many times have you ball watching? Third time lucky they get the equaliser, and then I'm surprised it wasn't him who went off because he was worse than Kivior. But for some reason we bring in Kivior and don't get me started on Tommy Ashley for the second goal. I mean, again, how many times did Fulham get down their right hand side where Tommy Ashley's meant to be, and how many times did we give away corners? What happened? Second time lucky, boom, they get the winner. And guess what? After that, you would have thought we would have won them up the tempo, but it was them who up the tempo. It was them who made it. Yeah, it was them who was making interceptions. Paulinho was the best player in the field. He was the one who ran that midfield. It weren't fucking Declan Rice. It was Paulinho. To the extent that he punched the air in celebration because he made a last-ditch tackle.
Alex Iwobi and Willian rolled him back for years.
Willian ruined Benjamin White. He absolutely had him on toes, ruined him. Anthony Robinson and Saka. You see my pocket? You can see my pocket. I can't show it. I'll show you my pocket. That's where Saka was. That's where Saka was. In fact, if you look at this pocket there, Saka's in that pocket. Sorry, Saka's in that pocket. He's still there, and he hasn't been let out. And Martinelli, I've had enough of him. I've had enough of him. Yes, he was instrumental in that goal. By the way, Saka did his best to miss it anyway. But apart from that, garbage. Absolute garbage. You're right, mate. First class rubbish.
Mate, every single player on that pitch was abysmal, right?
Yeah.
And do you know what summed it up today for me? Right, that corner that they scored off of, the second goal, right? Declan Rice and Gabriel Magalhaes were arguing with each other, pointing and wagging fingers at each other, right? And do you know what was crazy? We were sat on the watch along. It comes up with the graphic: 4 corners to them, none to us. All of them said, "Oh, we ain't had a corner." Yeah, they've had 4. I then sit there and go, the goal's coming in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Matty then sees where everyone's jockeying and they're matching up with their man. Matty goes, just look at this. Just look at this. Why is he marking him? Straight off the corner. Declan Rice and Gabriel Magalhaes all forward, back of the net. How did we see it coming?
Yeah, but the thing is, it was coming. It was coming because you think, right, whenever you come out from the second half, you say, right, I'm going to give the first 10 minutes has to be yours. The first 10 minutes was Fulham's.
What did he say to him?
I don't know what he said to him, but all I was saying is that, you know how last season we were the ones who were on the overlap, as fullbacks were on the overlap. It was Fulham's fullbacks the overlap. It was Fulham's every time on their right hand side. The Cobra Reed was making run after run after run.
Yep.
Iwobi, the amount of time Iwobi was allowed to have on the ball was an absolute disgrace.
Mate, they were doing Rabonas, and fancy dans and back heels. They do
Bassi, you see Bassi. The amount of times Bassi was
on the edge of his own box.
Because he knew nothing was coming back. He knew something was coming back.
He's one of the worst centre backs in the league.
Yeah, but the fact is, what does that say about us? We've been saying from time after time, the way we're playing now isn't sustainable. We're not hurting teams. We're not getting. We're not. The little chances we create, we're not taking them. That it's all gonna snowball, and it's all down to Mikel Arteta because Mikel Arteta never got over the fact we didn't win the league. He's never got over the fact that last season we were conceding clear-cut chances on the counter-attack, and basically it was a case of Ramsdale having to be in the action all the time, mainly because of him. And since then, he's made us into a more pragmatic team that when we're now on the edge of the box, we have to not put the cross in. It's got to be precise. We've got to make sure we're giving it to a player with space in attacking areas. No crosses are coming in, but the only person who seems to put crosses in is Saka because he's getting marked. So he has to try and put that early cross. But guess what? That is meat and drink for Fulham. I mean, one of his crosses went straight to Leno. And then that chance where two Fulham defenders went together, it was Anthony and I think Toshin, and Robinson went together. Saka, all he had to do was just calm himself down. What's he do? He basically did a Johnny Wilkinson over the bar.
Yeah,
and that's cinematic performance. You should have been in the away end. They were abusing, swearing, get him off, and that was Saka. They were abusing him, saying he's not trying everything.
They showed on TV fans walking out the away end after 75 minutes.
Yeah. But after
2 games, the end is 9.
Yeah, because the reason why they're walking out, and I'm not saying I did it because I will never do that, is because they know we could be playing right now or tomorrow, and we still want to score. We are not breaking teams down. Teams are comfortable against us, especially when they go in front of us. Whenever they go in front, unless you're Luton Town, we're beatable. I don't care who we play. Anyone from probably 13th to the top can beat us now, home and away. If they get that game plan, play in a rectangle, get on top of Declan Rice, cut out his passes, make sure that the game is played through the middle.
Yeah.
Win your second balls, right, darling. You're right. Win your second balls. You beat us, and you beat us comfortably. It's the easiest game plan. Any manager who uses any other game plan is a pork chop. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the game's up, Kenny. The game is up. The fact is, look at that team. When you look at our squad, when you look at our team, right, 640 million quid. right?
Yeah, but
And
it's on quality though.
90 minutes.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's played Eddie Nketiah because we created a ton of chances, but Saka and like I said, Jesus couldn't take them. But let's talk about substitutes because you got to talk about that. Once again, our substitutes had no impact on the match. Jesus, no impact. Tomiyasu was as bad as Kivior when he came on. And then you've got to talk about Trossard, ineffective. I mean, it's my and Reece Nelson, bloody hell. I think I touched the ball probably more than Reece Nelson. I never got near the ball. So it's one of those things where you talk about the improvements in the squad. There isn't an improvement because we've gone backwards. But the reason why we've gone backwards is because we're easy to read. Teams now are going to raise their game against us because we were second in the table with the Man City. But the thing is that their game plan is actually quite basic, and it's doable because all the good things we did last season, the attacking play, and even some of the good things we did this season, where we had that athleticism in order to win games in the last minute. We can't keep going to that well because you're all right, man. If you keep going so well, eventually you're going to tire. You know, last minute goals against Brentford, last minute injury time goal against Man United, 2. Then the injury time against Luton. Eventually, physically, you can't keep them going that well. And so what's happened is that when we do go a goal behind, we haven't got the energy or the endeavour to get back into games. So what's happened? It makes it even more comfortable for your opposition, and they can just lit up a cigar. Now, as you said, Fulham lost to Bournemouth. They lost to Burnley. But guess what? They're playing Arsenal, who, let's face it, you're going to race the game up by 50% because it's Arsenal. But the way they're playing, the way they're not playing a direct style of play, the way they're not getting behind you, and they're now playing a measured game, it's easy pickings.
Yeah,
simple.
It's so predictable. Listen, on that bombshell, get home safely, mate. I know you're probably soaked as well because the heavens open.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful New Year's Eve with the wife and family. And listen, mate, tomorrow.
We do the podcast. Good stuff. Yeah,
we do the podcast. Don't worry. Yeah, Uncomfortable Conversations Part 2 is the title.
No. But when you have uncomfortable conversations, how about saying the truth? The truth.
The truth.
Backed up by stats and data. When you have stats and data, and you have televisual evidence, it stops becoming an opinion. It becomes a fact. Now, a lot of Arsenal fans are going to ask us to be positive and say, "Oh, we're taking pleasure."
No. The current mood online is this manager.
But we try to tell you that. We tried to tell you that last season. We tried to tell you that when we went on the well against Brentford, when we went on the well against Luton, that this isn't sustainable. But of course, we don't know nothing. We only care about
clicks, Kenny. We're only doing it for views.
Yeah, but the fact is that the warning signs have been there. You can't keep going to the well. Yep. We've run out of ideas. We've become predictable. The opposition are now beating us comfortably, and it's an easy game. This is probably Fulham's hard work paid off. And when you work hard and you win all those second balls and you put your tackles in, the game in the last 20 minutes became a piece of piss for them. It was a piece of piss for them. Light work.
Listen, get yourself home safely, mate. We'll do the podcast tomorrow. I'll let you know what time.
Okay, definitely.
But yeah, I'll put it in the group chat anyway. Make sure.
Definitely, all right. Yeah, but as I said,
your support this year as well, man.
Oh, definitely. What I'm going to say is that Mikel Arteta, if I was you, look over his shoulder.
Adios.
Look over his shoulder.